X. Can you hear me now? Can everyone hear me? I just switched over. Okay. Everyone's good. You can hear me now. I didn't realize StreamYard. I just switched my speakers. Not sure what had happened. And I guess by default, it went to the new speaker, which doesn't have a microphone. And I was like, well, usually when I tap my microphone over here, it does it. So thank you all for joining. I had we had over 100 people. I know a lot of people are live streaming for their offices. Thank you so much on a Monday morning. It's gloomy here, but thank you so much for joining. Let's see, we've been doing this business planning for almost 10 years. It used to be a full day event that we did in our office, and we would do it a couple times because we had limited spaces. Then we ended up doing it at the board for a full year. Then COVID came. Carrie and I broke this up into 4 hours. So we did 4 weeks, and we just kind of broke it up into 4-hour sessions. Last year, Bree and I were able to do it in an hour. So this is my first time kind of going solo, other than when I've gone to offices to do it for a full day event. But I am super excited to be able to do this with you. It's one of my favorite things. I make my kids do it. It does not matter what you're doing, as far as it's not specific for just real estate. It is targeted for real estate. I do it every year. It's something I love, but just make sure you can go to my website. I did send out those that registered. I apologize for the multi-emails. I was trying to send it out every week to make sure everyone got all the workbook as well as the business expenses. There's a Google Drive folder that has both of those, so you can make a copy of those expense, like the Excel or in Drive, the sheets, because that is important. As much fun as it is not. But for sure, thank you guys all for tuning in, and I see everything. Awesome. So you can hear me, you can see me. I'm going to go ahead and get this going, and everyone please pray, because I did not have a voice all of last week. I did attempt to do like a Zoom meeting on Friday, and I didn't, coughing and all of that. So pray we get through this without any problems. I just sucked down a lozenge, like a cough drop. So hopefully we're all good, but I am super excited. So let's get started. And if you've downloaded the workbook, this is kind of like a little revised version because we aren't doing it together in person, but I want to make sure you guys have the workbook and just kind of go over some things. And we're really going to dive deep into some of the different things that we can be doing, not overwhelm ourselves, so that we can make 2025 our best year ever, for sure. One of the first things we really need to do is kind of ask ourselves, really dive deep. into your thinking as far as your vision. Like, what is your vision for the future? What are the things you want to do? And remember, this isn't all just business, it has to be personal as well. And I definitely encourage you, get your spouse, your significant other, partner, whatever, get them involved. I know I have to get my husband included because sometimes he may want to go do something. I'm like, no, this is a really big project I'm working on. I need to do this. And if you have those goals together, personal, business, I think it makes it a lot easier when your significant other is with you on all of these missions that you're trying to accomplish. It really helps with all of those goals. So the value, what is your value proposition? What do you do that's a little different than everybody else? And we need to make sure that you are putting that out in whether it be marketing and anything that you're doing on your website, all of those different things, the listing presentations. Really think about what your value proposition is. And I think now, with everything that's happened in this past year, it is a really good time to really focus on what you're, showcasing your value. Where do you want your business to be? What's lacking? Where do you see it in 5 and 10 years? Financial, of course, what are your financial goals? We definitely need to know what those goals are, whether you made it this year. Think about the last, 3 or 4 years. I know there's a lot of newer agents that have come into the market. I've been in real estate since the 90s, not including riding my bicycle to my grandmother's open houses to serve cookies. I honestly thought it was the most boring job ever, but I did love her office Christmas parties because I just think my brother and I sat at the shrimp table and just ate all of it. I feel bad for them. But really think about, what your financial goals are. Where do you want it to be? Your marketing. What are you doing? What do you want to be doing? Really think about what strategies you want to be using for your marketing. And of course, your daily activities. What are you doing? What you should be doing and you're not. Let's put that into your business plan and that roadmap to success that we're going to be creating. And are you on track? It's been an interesting couple of years, honestly, and being in real estate for as long as I have, I know we've all kind of seen the dips and, between short sales, foreclosures, the REOs, the BPOs, all of these different things. I mean, that is probably one thing I absolutely love about real estate is it's always changing. And I think we've seen like this boom and really great kind of real estate market for a very long time, because usually there will be kind of little dips. And it feels like it's been forever, where that market kind of adjusts, where it's a buyer seller. And a lot of the newer agents have not seen a buyer's market or when that transition happens, because that is really when, we have to kind of focus on what we're doing. Things aren't just flying in our lap and our phones just aren't ringing off the hook, not able to handle everything. So we really need that business plan to help us with that momentum. Your personal vision and professional vision. Now, I've been saying this for 3 years. Well, I guess it's 5 years now since I moved up to Tennessee, and I really wanted to get this kitchen done. It took us almost 10 years to finally redo our kitchen in Florida, and we pretty much did it for the new buyers. We only got to enjoy it for 2 years before we sold the house. And then we moved, and this kitchen is, my gosh, it has emerald green tile in the kitchen, if that can tell you anything. So I'm going to put this on here. It's been focused on playing for so long that I haven't been able to focus, but it is my focus 2025. I need to redo my kitchen in some way. Someone's only seen a black screen. Trisha, anybody else seen a black screen? Because I don't see anybody else that says that. Let me know if anybody else is only seeing a black screen. Anyone else? Okay, so everyone else, press the play. Okay. Oh, good. Just making sure. I was like, oh, what's going on? Okay. So, and you also need to have your professional vision. What do you see? And a lot of times when we're doing business plans with agents, we are looking for, maybe our goal is to reach that next achievement level. Maybe you want to increase your referrals from your sphere. Maybe you want to get more online leads by focusing on your website, or maybe ad spend somewhere, something like that. So really think of your personal as well as your professional vision, so that you can see, it's just kind of like helping you with that little roadmap, that little vision, what you want to do. And of course, vision board. I hope by now, because I know I've been doing this live for many, many years, we used to use, get poster board and the Elmer's glue and the scissors and every magazine we could find, and what a mess that made. But there's so many online programs, including Canva, where you don't need to pay for Canva. You just can go in there, do a search for vision board. It has beautiful layouts. Go into the elements, look for photos, go to Google. You're not, putting that on social. It's just something for you to really be able to focus and create that vision board. When I'm doing the vision boards, and my kids, I've been making them do this for a long time, especially now, they're in their young 20s. I like to have the board kind of a mixture of different things. Yes, for what I want for the upcoming year, but also 5 and 10 years from now. I know since I started doing vision boarding, I had, and gosh, I think it was probably at one of Tom Ferry's events that really had to focus on that and write what we wanted 20 years from now. And I remember I had the Smoky Mountains. I wanted to be up in the mountains. I had been wanting that since my first motorcycle trip in college in 96. When I came up here, I knew this is where I wanted to be. And I finally made it. It didn't take me 25. Well, it took me 25 years total, but it didn't even take me quite 10 years, but it's been on my vision board. My Jeep, I had to sell my Jeep. Back then there were only 2 doors. I had 3 kids, and there was definitely not enough room for, baseball, football, cheer, all of that fun stuff. So I had to go and get a mommy mobile. But ever since then, I had a Jeep on my vision board, because I knew once the kids grew up, got their own cars, I was definitely getting my Jeep again. And it may have taken 10 years, but I was able to get it. So don't just say next year, this is what I want to do. Make sure to kind of have a little bit of, 5 years, 10 years, so that you can really be thinking towards the future. If retirement's something, I know that's always, it kind of gets bigger and bigger every year, because I'm still not great at the whole, retirement. What does that look like? When does that look like? Like, I feel like I'm 20 something, like that feels forever, but it's not. So, just something really to focus on, to think about, because it's going to change your prospect and how you do business, what you're going to be doing for your business and everything else. So make sure that you're doing those vision boards, and don't just do it and walk away. Print it, put it in a couple different places. I have mine in my closet, and I have it sitting here at my desk, which is where I'm at all day long, in my little she shed. It is just something in my face all the time, because when you remember why you're doing what you're doing, that vision board is going to help you and really bring it to life. I have an 8x10. I do miss the poster size, because it was ginormous on my wall. I do miss that. So I'm thinking maybe I'll have it printed to a poster size and have it framed. That way it's a little bigger, because the 8x10 just, it isn't the same. It is not as powerful as when I did the poster board, but I am able to get exactly what I want on it, because I'm not trying to find words or photos from magazines. Just go online, and find exactly what I want. So definitely vision board, as cheesy as it may be, it's that visual aspect to your whole entire business planning, personal, professional, and everything in between. Make sure it's all on there. And you can do this with your kids, with your spouse, anybody like that as well. It's not just for businessy stuff. We need to know, who do we have to be? What do we have to do so that we can have what we want? And that's that whole vision board thing. And then we want you to make sure you dream big. Dream big. Make sure you're future focused. So focus on what you're wanting. And the most important is you have to be accountable to be able to achieve your goals. So what are you doing to be accountable? Are you doing, if you're even doing the business plan, a lot of people may print it, they start it, and then they put it away, and then they never see it. So it's like I print it and I have it bound so that it stays on my desk all year round. I personally use a program called Asana, which keeps me task. It's very task oriented, so I can stay and be able to do what I need to do. But it's on there every quarter. I want to make sure, like, where am I? What am I doing? What are the ideas I have listed? Looking at my roadmap, I want to be able to see, where am I at? Where can I be? What can I be doing? So we just need to make sure that you stay accountable, and make sure to share with your friend. If you have a bestie in the office or your spouse or whatever, do your review together so that you have an accountability partner. It kind of pushes you to be able to do that. I was a horrible student in high school. By the time I got to college or whenever I'm doing other courses, I'm like the overachiever, trying to make up for, what I was like back in high school and stuff. So for me, whenever I've had a coach, an accountability partner, I want to be that overachiever and make sure I do all my homework and get everything done and that I've checked everything off. And then, we can celebrate those little successes together and it makes it better. But you have to know your numbers. Hopefully everybody knows your numbers. You should know every time that phone rings, every time you get, an inquiry, somebody emails you, someone sends you a message. How did they find you? Was it, from a friend? Was it online leads? Are you very social? And I know, like, here we have Amy Lee Lucas in Knoxville. She will never let me get the last word in any conversation or message that we have. She always gets that last word. Katie Lance was always the same way. It kind of like, how do you have time to do this? But it is crazy. So think about, where are you getting your leads? Why are people calling you? Knowing, and the easiest way to do this, go into your MLS, go do your stats, pull out do a printout of all of your transactions this year. That way, when it's all wrote down, you have it in front of you, you can just take a pen and write down where each of those people came from. How did they find you? What was your referral source? Always know how people found you. It's super important. And because if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So we need to know, where are our people coming from? We need to know that. Know your numbers, measure and tracking. And of course, in the homework, if you registered early, you've got a few of these emails, although it's also on my website. So you can always go and find this. I will make sure I will put the link a little bit later. Download that workbook if you're watching live. And did not register. I have this in the workbook. There's links, and I have a Google Drive folder, which has the workbooks, both of them. So you have the business planning as well as that expense tracker. This stuff makes my head hurt. I know personally, I don't like doing this stuff. So I have an accountant, I have a bookkeeper. They do all of this stuff, but I will say it's super important. Every time I have done this at the end of the year, it's almost mind-blowing. I remember one of the first years when we had to do this, I was paying for some gaming software for my son. And at the time, maybe he signed up when he was 14 or something, and here he's 18. I'm like, no. I don't even pay for YouTube Premium, whatever, no commercials myself. Why am I paying for this every month for you? You're an adult, go do it. But there was also I don't know if it was Nintendo. I don't know what I was paying for, but I was paying for something. It was like $40 a month. So this year, when I just did all this, something must have happened when we had Megaphone, and then Megaphone, because we got Bold Trail dissolved somehow or another, because I used to help my agents run ads. And I would just, go into the account. I'd put in my credit card because they're not going to be able to do all this via Zoom or whatnot. It was just easier for me to put in my Zoom and they Venmo me money. Well, somehow or another, when Megaphone dissolved and it went strictly to HomeSnap, my credit card was attached and it started automatically running ads on every one of their listings. I was getting all of these charges randomly. It wasn't like a monthly fee, it was just random. And it was almost $1,500 before I caught it. And of course, I went everywhere trying to get support. And they all just said I had to go to my bank and try to get my money back. I couldn't get all of it back because they could only do X amount for time frame. But that's why this stuff is important. Doing your personal, knowing what those expenses are, doing your business expenses and marketing. We need to know, and that's where knowing where your business is coming from. Is there a positive investment on like that positive return on what you're spending? And I always try to say, because I know we always see the shiny objects and we always try it. If you're trying a new marketing technique, really give it your all for 6 months before deciding, nope, this doesn't work. Sometimes it's a lot of work, but a lot of times I find I have signed up for something and then I don't realize it. Like I think I just got an email a couple of weeks ago from a WordPress plugin that I pay for every year. And it's like $150 a year. I haven't had a WordPress website in over 5 years. So just little things like that. This stuff makes a difference, knowing where that money is. Yes, we have accountants, we may have a bookkeeper, but you still need to look at all of those to really see, what am I using? What am I paying for? Maybe it's something you signed up for a year or, a year ago, but you played with it a couple months and you're like, oh, I'll get back to it, and you never did. If you're not using it, cancel it. If it's something you really want to be using, go all in. Go in there and try it before you cancel it. There's a lot of, useless spending that we're doing. Go through everything. And that's what those workbooks are for. So make sure to do those as much as it isn't fun, because it does hurt my head. Like that's, let me design a website, whatever. That's fun for me. Numbers, no, that's why I hire the professionals. Yes, Tara, this is being recorded. If you registered, you'll get the replay link and it'll be on my YouTube. I'll send out an email to everybody that registered, and it should be in the, the Tech and Tools group. It's on my business page and stuff like that. So you're good. Measure and tracking. This is this year's recap. So knowing what your GCI is, and you can pretty much know like what you have in the books pending that might be closing through the end of the year. What is your GCI from the homework? What is your business expenses? What is your profit? If you're paying a TC, if you're paying for this and this and this, what is your actual profit that you're getting? What is the amount of closed transactions? And then break it down. Let's split it up. How many listings? How many buyers? How many appointments? So how many different appointments? What didn't close? And who maybe you need to go back to see, are they ready to relist their home? Are they, are things different and they're ready to buy a home again? I know a lot of times it's statistics show in an election year, everything kind of changes that last half of the year. There's a lot of pent up demand. If you watch anybody, I know Jared James, Tom Ferry, they're all saying the same thing. The amount of sales this year is way lower than previous years. So, but just election year in general. So make sure if you, had a lot of appointments and you had then they didn't fall through, go after them, go revisit them, make sure you're not just leaving them hanging. And then think about knowing what your average commission is per transaction. So just do the math on, the amount of closed sales divided by transactions, their sales volume. And then think of your average hours per week and how many hours are you spending prospecting per week. And I think when you see that number, it may be a lot lower than you thought. We can increase that. So let's measure and track, knowing what we're doing, what's going on, what are the results. And then here's where the sales volume, write your GCI, the amount of transactions, the amount of appointments, and then break it down, listings, buyers, how many referrals, whether you do, maybe you do rentals or something like that, put that in there. Know those numbers. Let's see, what does the system use? Kayla, what I use is Asana. It's Asana. it basically is task driven. So I can have things recurring. So maybe every Wednesday I make a reel for upcoming events to post onto social. So it's just a Canva template. I have all the links and all the information, what I use. So every single task has a video on how I do it. So that way, my assistant, whoever, can always take over for me. But Asana is more task driven, but we are trying to figure out, it's free. They do offer to pay program. I've been using it for 5 years and I haven't figured out what I need to pay for. I would gladly give them my money because I would be lost without it, but it is task driven. So every morning, that's what I'm in there when I wake up early, because you guys know I'm an early bird. From like 4 until 9, I'm doing all my tasks that I have to do for the day. And it just allows me to, some things are recurring, but you can also do other things. My agent coaching appointments are on there. So that way I can just go to my agent coaching folder. I pull up the agent's name and it has everything that we've met on, what our tasks are and all that kind of stuff. So I've been able to use it. Yes, Trello, exactly. Pretty much the same thing. Trello, I love. It works more for like my brain bucket ideas, kind of like things I want to do, and I can drag and drop one, into the different buckets. To me, it doesn't give me my task. And I love my good old fashioned notebook where I can write things down and then check it off. And even if I've already done it, sometimes I used to write it in. Whereas this, if I check, so many tasks off for the day, I get flying unicorns and all that kind of fun stuff. So it makes it a lot of fun. So definitely check out Asana, Trello. I used to use Evernote. That was great. But Asana's so far has been the best of all of them that I've used. It works for me and it's free. So the future, I want you to take the numbers from this year, at least 25% increase or double it. Because I feel it's all a mindset. When you double and you make that goal like really big, and if you just get a little shy of that, it's okay. But I think like if maybe we did 250, I'm going to say, don't say 300, don't say 275, go to 500, let's double. Because your mindset is going to be different when you're creating that roadmap to success. When you start thinking of other agents that are doing the 500 or $1 million GCI, when you start thinking, what do these other agents that are doing that, what are they doing for their business? Your roadmap is going to be a lot different than if you just keep it the same as what it was today. And hopefully that makes sense. So that's where I say dream big, think big. Like, live your dream and set that goal. Go way high. Do double. Because when we get to that roadmap and you start building it, I want you to think, what is it like? What do I need to be doing in my business to double what I did this year? Your mindset's going to be different. So double it. At minimum, 25%. But I always say just double it. Just double it. Go big. Go big. Because you're going to think bigger. And that's what we want. So going through, make sure, go through, double all that. And then what is your target take home? So now you know what your total annual expenses are from the homework. What do you want to do? What is required net? So that's your profits. That's, you're spending money. That's going to give you those vacations you want, those dreams on those vision boards. And then say, it is unacceptable for my business to profit less than. So you have to, just like Tony Robbins always says, turn your should into a must. That's it. Turn your should into a must. So think of what do you need to profit? And so you have to know, like, okay, well, my business expenses are this. So if I want to make this, what do I need to do? And then your CRM. So there's a lot of stuff, but I thought this was great I don't know if anybody else watched the Tom Ferry's business planning with Jimmy Mackin, and you don't have a leads problem. You have a lack of action problem. And that is so true. So many agents are like, oh, I want to do all these online leads. What is your follow-up plan? You can generate all the online leads you want, and I'll say like so many it's so different than it was 10, 15 years ago. There are so many WhatsApps and scams, and all these bots have like completely taken over the internet. I mean, you can tell that just from all of the texts we get from our broker who needs us to go get a gift card, right? Like, it's ridiculous. How are they getting this information? They're hacking our online leads. It's crazy. But our CRM is a gold mine. And if you're going to be trying to pay for online leads or doing anything, you need a follow-up system. We have great CRMs. You need to be having one. Excel is just not cutting it anymore. We need to add some of this automation and all that fun stuff. So we need a client relationship management. And there's lots of different ways you can build up this pipeline to build out your database, whether it's, different networking, outreach events. Do you have a referral program? I know I have my book. Oh, I put it so I can't reach it. The referral book that Hillary, Amy, that they all do for R4. It's a great book. What are you doing to try to attract different referrals? And not just from other agents, but from your sphere, your friends, family, lenders, whatever title, whatever it may be, business partners. What is your focus on what you do business? Who would be a good marketing kind of referral partner? And then, of course, optimizing your social media. Are you doing things to drive traffic back to your website? There's a lot of ways that you can do that, especially if you're using Bold Trail. You have all those landing pages with guides and squeeze pages and all this, different blogs, all that kind of fun stuff. So help drive traffic to your website, help build your database, because that's a gold mine. And then monthly newsletters. Yes, there's tons of cans. I know I just put in tokens, and there's like a whole thread on the Remax Second Tools where everyone's, sharing different tokens that you can just add into your Bold Trail. And now you have the whole, drip campaign for monthly newsletters, holidays, all of that fun stuff. And definitely utilize that as a starting point, but go in there, clone it. So now it's yours, edit it, add your own branding, make sure every month you're adding in local events, that you're adding in your listings and all of that kind of stuff. Any community events. I love every week I'm sharing what's going on. I mean, right now it's the holidays, always my fun part, because it's like, oh my gosh, I feel like there's, parades every, a couple of them every single weekend. There's all the where to go see Christmas lights, all of those fun things. Be a resource for information. Put that on your website, put it on your social, drive people back. Make sure it's in those newsletters as well. Give value. And I feel if we add in local events and information, people will start to look forward to that email that comes to them. It's not just fluffy content. What is the market like where you are? We get the national, share that video as well, but share local market information in those monthly newsletters. And then, of course, your blogs, like generic, buyer, seller, KCM, Keeping Current Matters, always has a ton of amazing resources. I love their blogs because it's not clickbaity, if that makes sense. There's so much clickbait out there. It's really just what's actually going on out there in the market. There's a lot of great stuff that you can be sharing to social. You can use the green screen. There's a lot of really cool ideas and how people use it. But, add those. Make sure that's in your monthly newsletters. And then, of course, holidays, touch points. Just all of course, you have your main key holidays. There's at least one every month. Some of them have a couple. Valuable offers and content. So if you have, upcoming events, if there's anything that's going on that may be unique for your area, share it. That gives you just a different way to be able to reach out to all of these people. And of course, anytime you can do personal touches, you have to add that in for your sphere, past clients, anything like that. I love the Core Present to be able to send those CMAs out, because I know, gosh, and I moved up here 5 years ago, but I have like all of my addresses apparently in Zillow or Redfin, and I get those monthly emails. I think they're almost every month. I look at them every single month. I don't understand why we're not sending those out to our past clients so that they can see what their investment is doing and sending out those CMAs for them. So just different ideas on ways that you can be touching your database. Market updates. I absolutely love the market updates inside of Bold Trail. Almost every platform has some sort of market updates. It's pure data. It's not like the home value where it's a bot and, map radius where it's not always 100% accurate, but make sure you can turn on your market updates, listing alerts. Make sure that you have all of your CRM integration. If you use different programs, make them all try to talk to each other. Most of them do. Maybe use MailChimp to send your emails out. It'll integrate with almost all of the different programs. So you just want some sort of automation, something that's going to help you. You need to be touching your sphere. Your database is your gold mine, especially for a lot of these agents that, may be newer and never had to work their database before because, the market's been a little crazy. And this year, I think is, a little different for many people. And a lot of us, I remember, back in the short sale foreclosure REO days, a lot of agents, they were like being fed. They could barely handle what they have from the bank, getting all these listings. And then when that stopped, they forgot what it was like to work their database, to prospect, to do what they had to do in their business every single day. And when that market starts shifting like it has been, we forget because we got lazy because we didn't need to be doing stuff. So we need to be doing all of this stuff, whether, everything is great next year, which I think it will be, but we have to make sure we're not forgetting the stuff that we're supposed to be doing. You don't want to slide through, and just not do what we're supposed to be doing. Get lazy and all that fun stuff. Quarterly check-ins, client appreciation events. Those are so easy. I know we've done videos on different ideas because you can have your partners help, do a movie night, we did the ball games. We've done, all sorts of different client appreciation events, and just keep it annually. That first year may be a little awkward, not unsure. You're going to get better at it, but it doesn't have to be a heavy expense because you can have your partners help you with that. So make sure you're constantly doing things for your sphere. I know I absolutely loved the agent that helped me buy my house here. Never heard from her again. I thought we were besties. Everything was great. And then she ghosted, never heard from her again, which I'm just like, oh my gosh, the missed opportunities if she's doing this with everybody, unless she really didn't like me. But no, I mean, she was great. But it blows my mind. How many of you guys just kind of drop off the face of the earth after the transaction? Do stuff. Do some awesome things. Don't do that. All right, now into marketing. And make sure you have a marketing plan. So I know even on that brokerage level, our admin team, we met every single year. We, basically planned out our entire year of events. So there was something, whether we were doing quarterly happy hours, when was our, awards party, Christmas party, like what are we doing? And we already, we get them all booked, but what do we want to implement? So we would send out a survey every year. Based on the input of the survey, that's when we would meet up, just to kind of, okay, what do the agents want? What do we want to change? Make sure you're doing that with your team. Make sure you're doing that on an individual basis, the brokerage, just traditional online social media, being consistent. Just make sure that you're having different plan ideas, topics, all these other things that you can be doing. And then marketing, this was great. So this was, if you watched the Tom Ferry business plan with Jimmy, this was great. I had to kind of add in a slide. Not sure if it was on the first, if I had added it to the book, but I thought it was too great not to be able to share. One, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So if you're using marketing, don't, oh, I'm going all in on Zillow. Sprinkle it out a little bit. Because I think we've seen, especially for those that have business pages, offices, we go all in on Facebook and then they take our page down. I mean, we lost our page in March. It was the third time they took it down. I used to always be able to at least get it back within a month. I have not been able to get it back. And they took down almost all of our offices, our property management division, like everything, all went away, disappeared. So we don't want to go all in on one platform because we don't have control over these platforms. So sprinkle it out. If you're paying for online leads, different marketing techniques, Don't put all your eggs in one basket, sprinkle it around. Make sure you're always checking that return on investment. What's your superpower? That's knowing your value. What can you do to drive these conversations? And then he says farming sexy again. So going back to the snail mail, whether you're doing the direct mail, the different buyer letters. I remember with Tom Ferry, we always had like, all these crazy postcards like, eek, we just sold a listing, but I have 3 buyers that were interested. Do you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell in your neighborhood? All of those kind of things. So lots of get creative with your marketing. Direct mail, I don't think it's ever been not sexy, but he says it's sexy again. Listing marketing, it's not just about selling a home. It's selling your value. So don't use your phone to take the outside picture. Use the professional photos. Even if you know it's going to sell quickly, try to do as much as you can. That is your value. What sets you apart? It's like you're part of your portfolio and what you do as a listing agent. So it's attracting those buyers. It's why I absolutely love Property Boost. I'm not really focused on the leads that are coming in. What I am focused on is it's advertising to everybody that's going to be driving by the sign back and forth to work, taking their kids back and forth to school, all of that. It's more of, I see you everywhere mentality. So I'm not really focused on the online leads. It's the impressions. I want them to see the stuff everywhere. It's also like listing marketing. Why not, blast, do direct mail to a busy road next to the popular schools? Yes, you may get vacant land. Yes, you may get listings that are going to be harder to sell because, it's on a main road, but it's your signs, right? It's your signs. It's the I see you everywhere mentality. Your database is your gold mine. 1 million people plus did not list because of the elections, regardless of who wins. And that's a statistic, just like I know Jimmy said it, Keeping Current Matters, David, he's been saying it. So they all say it. There are people out there that want to buy and sell, go after them now. And then I thought this was crazy. He says, top of inbox equals top of mind. He suggests you used to be sending 13 emails to your database every single month. I thought that's a little crazy because I finally got to my goal of sending 1 a month. And I'm like, what? 13? And then I'm going to look at all of these things that I look at all the time, like BAM. So I watch those videos every morning. It kind of comes in overnight. I don't know when it comes in. But I actually it's what I'm doing when I'm getting up early. I'm watching their videos just to stay what's going on in the industry, all of that. And they send emails every day, more than one. All these people that I actually look at the emails, and I look and I sort everybody. So I have like a filter so I can just go straight to their folder, and I'm looking at the dates, and it's literally times, because I'll get like 5 emails a day. And I'm like, what? No way. So then the 13 doesn't seem so bad. So I'm going to try to do 2. We'll see. What direct mail is the best? I love the Every Door Direct, going straight through the post office. Every market is different. We used to have a company called Saving Safari, but I think it was a local down in Florida. And they made it super easy. I remember, I used to design the postcard, send it to Office Depot, have them printed, and they bundled it in the 50s that was required. I did everything manually. And then this other company actually would do it for us. And it was, maybe 2 cents or something more. And I was like, well, my time is worth 2 cents. So, a piece. So there are Every Door Direct, and that goes straight through the post office. That's great. Quantum, Express Copy, those are all fantastic. There is, and hopefully some people will put in the threads what you're using for promotional mail piece. There's so many different ones that'll even do like all of your clients, your Client for Life program. There's so many out there. They're really great. I'm glad you could join, Susan. All right. So, questions to ask yourself: what's your yearly goal? What's your quarterly goal? Monthly, weekly, and then daily. You have to really think about that, because a lot of times we overwhelm ourselves and we try to do everything at once and nothing's going to get done. So just some different things to make you think about things. Oh, and when it comes to like social media, and now I don't know if she actually said this, but that's how I heard it, was Valerie Garcia. It was social media won't replace a handshake, but social media done well will change that first meeting from a handshake to a hug. And I can say almost everybody who's been to R4 can pretty much understand that saying right there. There are so many times that I go to the convention, a big event, and I see someone, we hug, and then realize, oh my gosh, I just realized we've never met in real person. Like Tavia. So now she's at corporate doing all of the awesome trainings for us. But my gosh, we were doing weekly trainings in tech and tools, like especially during COVID time, we were doing weekly trainings for you guys every single week. Then all of a sudden I see her at the broker owner conference and realized she's a lot taller than I thought. And I realized, how did I not know this? And then it's like, wait, we've never met in real life. Like, this is crazy. But it was like a huge hug, bear hug, circling around because, she's like my sister from another mister. But I realized we only knew each other from social media. And that's just where I think if you're authentically you, it's going to help when it comes to humanizing who you are. People are able to relate. You'll find your tribe of people. And that's where like those automated social posts, like I think you have to incorporate you. And of course, now that I kind of sit in my she shed all day, I'm like almost 100% personal and nothing business. I'm trying to change that. And I just have to keep taking Sue's Instagram coaching class because she always gives me the little kick in the butt, because I have a lot more fun making videos going off-roading than I do about tips and tricks. And I do long form videos. So it's not like I'm not doing anything, but Prospect Plus. Yes, Melissa, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I was like, it's on the tip of my tongue. Somebody put it in there. Thank you. Thank you. So I think by being you, it's going to be a lot better. So make sure to incorporate that so that you can find your tribe of people. All right, social plan. What's going on in your week that you can post about? Different things that you can make reels, posts, business, carousels. And I just read somewhere that carousels, because now with images on Instagram and stuff, you can add music. So I heard or read somewhere that your Instagram carousels, that's when you add more than, one photo and you swipe to see the rest and you add music. Those are like the number one looked at post type right now. So that's kind of interesting and fun. And I like carousels a lot. You can combine and they let you add more than 10 anymore. I think you can add 20, but just make sure, incorporate a little bit. And then that way you can always look at your insight, see what performs the best versus, what can you do more of? What resonates with your audience, your followers? And then checking on brand. I'm all about cohesiveness, your coloring, your fonts and all of that. Just kind of make sure that all looks nice. I know when I'm building website, that's the first thing I do is I go to their social, like what colors and fonts, and I want everything to be cohesive. So I want, I use inspiration from what they're posting on social, make that go right into their website. So that way everybody knows they're in the right place. If somebody goes to the website, they know the brand. They see it. They have that, it has that same vibe. So just kind of make sure that's all in there. Your online profiles. I think everybody by now, if you've watched any of my past classes, big pet peeve here, your online profiles. Make sure they have all of your information. I cannot tell you how many times I think between the creative and tech and tools, we probably get about 100 plus requests to join the group every week, every single week. Of those, a lot of people don't answer the questions. And then a lot of people, like, I have no idea they're a secret agent. They have nothing about what they do in their profiles. It's like locked down. So, it makes it really hard. I may get an agent that says, "Hey, Heather, do you know somebody in X area?" I do. So I immediately go to their Facebook so I can, send the URL or, do a screenshot, but they don't have their website. They don't have a phone number. They don't have an email. They don't have anything. So on to the next agent, whoever's going to make it easiest for me. I shouldn't have to do research on you to find your information. Go to your profiles, make sure they're updated, make sure they have your social links, your website, email, whatever it is, make sure you're doing that. And you should be checking that all the time. Stop being a secret agent. Website, making sure I like the custom domains. Yes, I'll pay $11 a month all day long for it. I just want it to be mine. I want to have full control over it. I want it to be my branding. I want it to be my name, whatever it may be. But a lot of people come to me like, "Okay, Heather, I have a website. Now what?" But I'm not getting any leads. Like, is it on your business cards? Is it on every single flyer you're doing? Is it on every marketing piece? Are you doing anything to drive traffic to the website? Usually, no. Well, if you don't know where your website is, how would somebody else know? It's not like magic. You can't compete with the Zillows and Realtor.com, Move, Homes. You can't compete with that if you're not doing anything to drive traffic to your website. It'll never happen. So just a lot of, kind of food for thought on things that you can be doing. So you have a whole website checklist for you. You're going to have a whole social media, Facebook. Just make sure you have your information. Stop being a secret agent. Instagram, make sure your bio is clear on what you do, whether you have, you can have multiple links. It's like you can only see that first one. I still personally love Linktree. I know I had posted Canva templates so that you have like that one kind of pager that has links to a lot of stuff. I had posted a template in a couple of groups, probably the creative group forever ago. If anyone's interested, just post in there and let me know and I'll find it again. But there's a lot of different ways. It's kind of like I want on an agent level, you should have different links to your buyer guide, seller guide, staging guide, selling with kids, selling with pets, all these different guides. You should have a link that goes to those different ones. And I use the Remix URL shortener because now not only do I track the links and clicks, it tells me what device they're on, what's working, all of that kind of fun stuff like that. So just a little food for thought. YouTube, there's a lot of good things that I love YouTube. You don't have to be doing videos to have a YouTube channel, but you can have your listings automatically have a video that goes to YouTube. If you're using Bold Trail, a lot of platforms, you just go in there. Yes, I want the video done for my listing. It'll be a slideshow, but it's a video. Google, YouTube, help get those rankings up. And then all you have to do is go to other channels and add them to your homepage so that it looks full. You don't have to create the videos. You can just go and customize that homepage and add Remix's channels. So that way it shows full. It's not like some empty page on your YouTube channel. So it's not that hard. Create your mode map. I am providing a ton of 10. I always try to tell everybody to have 10 pillars to your business. Social's one. What are you doing consistently in your business to generate the traffic or generate leads? And what are you consistently doing? So I just wrote a couple different things, but I want you to think of 10 things that you're going to be doing consistently all the time so that you can be consistent and not be on this roller coaster. I want you to have accountability and do 10 things consistently in your business. Going through your numbers, what you did last year, maybe the previous years, I want you to think, knowing what you know now, you're going to do more of and less of. What worked, what's not working. And that way you can decide what you're going to be doing. Your morning routine, or just even your daily routine, it's crucial to your business. So I always like to have the power hour. And of course, Everybody knows, like most of you know, I get up super early because, I have a regular kind of 9 to 4 day, but I'm getting my work done at 4. But it's so peaceful. Nobody's awake. My animals are all sleeping. Nobody's bothering me. It's just me, my thoughts, my tasks, and what I'm doing. It's generally when my creativity is at the highest as well, because I wake up because my son may be talking to my nephew who's in Germany, and there's a huge time difference, and I hear him laughing at 3 a.m. All of a sudden, my brain turns on, and I just think of all this work I could be doing, all these things. Oh, I could do this, this, this. And it's like I given up. I'm not going to try to go back to sleep. I'm just going to go with it. Because if I don't, I wake up tired and so I get excited. It's all wonderful. So come up with a morning routine. Think of something, whether you want to go exercise, a mindset routine, but think of all the different activities you want to do daily and be consistent about it. I always like to say at least the power hour. Having those real estate conversations. What are you doing to help everybody with all of, you got to have those real estate conversations, especially now. In your workbook, and because we're on presentation style, I have this sheet here. This sheet is what I use when I am, coaching with agents. I want them to fill this out, print a bunch. You should, even if you just do it for a month, print out, 5 days a week. So print those out for a month. I want you to fill in those blanks every single business day for an entire month. I guarantee you, if you do Tom's Ferry's Power Hour and you do this every single business day for an entire month, you are going to see significant results, improvement, and it's going to help you with set that daily routine and expectations for you. But I guarantee you're going to be like, wow, I haven't been doing a lot of XYZ. I need to start doing more. So just do this every single business day for an entire month. I almost dare you to do it because you're going to see a huge difference. This, and then obviously in your book, it's blank, but this is what I print out and I put right next to my vision board. It is what I call the doing, done board. We get overwhelmed with the task that, we get excited. We want to do this, this, and this. We try to do everything at once and nothing happens. So I know, especially during like when we had the whole COVID thing, I didn't know what to do. So maybe I want to do more promotional videos, not about off-roading. Like I just tried to do one and I realized how out of practice I am because I have not done video, like other than reels and silly stuff for like 5 years. So I want to do video. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to overwhelm myself and just, we're going to do this, this, this. I'm going to do 3 videos every single week. That'll never happen. Maybe 1 week. And then it's going to be like, whoo, no. But what if I just said one idea? So let me come up with 12 video ideas I can do. And I'm going to put one of those in each of these blocks. So I only have to do 1 video each month. Now I will have 12 videos done by the end of the year. And I can say that is how I ended up with a huge arsenal of library of all of these video tips. Because when we couldn't meet in person, we were doing all of these videos we were doing weekly videos for everybody. I was doing a weekly podcast. I was doing weekly training. Like, I'm going to do whatever we can do. We all rose up and just went to the next level. But because I did that, I have a huge library of all of these video tutorials, which ended up helping me in the long run because I get the same questions all the time. And now I can just send the video because I turn it into a blog and has all the information. So don't overwhelm yourself. Give yourself 3 things, and it doesn't have to be all business. I encourage you to add your personal and stuff like that into this. But if you add 3 new things in each month, it's not that overwhelming. And I guarantee you by the end of the year, you're going to overachieve those 3 because it's something that you're going to, practice. Like, I want to do this. Practice makes perfect. So even a video, if you're like still haven't got into video, you could be like me and, oh my gosh, I have to press this red button. By the end of the year, I had doubled what I asked myself because I didn't overwhelm myself and say I have to do all this. Like, okay, I got my one done for the month. By month 2, it was like, oh, that was easier. By month 3, I'm like, oh, let's just do this. I can do more and more and more. Melissa, I will check because I know I used to pay for the whole Adobe, and then I realized the only thing I used it for was this, to have it where I could type it in. I personally, because I print out that page, I want to handwrite it, but I think it's just the way I learn. Like, I like to write everything because then it's almost like a muscle memory, or I don't know, it's like a visual thing. So typing it doesn't always do the same thing as me handwriting it and really put some thought into it. So, but I'll think about, because I know you can turn it into, and I have it on Canva too. So you could certainly type it in Canva like I did. So just remind me, and I can have, just because I have this and the Tom Ferry one. So in your book, and I'm not going to go over these because I just went to ChatGPT and told it to give me a marketing plan for each month. Different ideas. If you can't think of anything, use ChatGPT. What blogs can I do every month? What's a good, even if you're looking to do drip campaigns, go to ChatGPT. I had somebody ask me for different ideas on a drip, and it was something I had never heard of before that they did in their market. And I was like, oh, well, let me go ask ChatGPT. It literally gave me, I just wanted 12 emails. It gave me every single one that I can tweak and all of that. ChatGPT can be your best friend. So there's just some ideas, some food for thought to get your brain rolling. Think of different things that you can do. If there's anything that we can do to help, we do offer, different services. But I really want you to make next year, I want you to thrive in 25, because I feel like I barely survived 2024. So that is, it will not copy. A person's in my class. Bill, I'll get with you. I think you have to open it up using the Google Drive, and then you can copy that into yours. And then you can, basically everybody will need to copy that Google Drive form. Let me open that up really quick. Let me look over here for Thrive. There we go. And if I share, let me share my screened window. Where is it? Here. So you guys can see my screen. So if you use the Google Drive link, which goes in the email, if you don't have it, let me know, send me a message. I'll make sure the link is everywhere. But what you have to do is you have to come over, open this up, and file and make a copy. So right here, make a copy. That's going to turn that into yours. So, because otherwise, if it's a live document, everybody's going to be typing in the same one. We don't want that. So basically, I can see a lot of people are in there. So make a copy of it, and that way it becomes yours, because it should be a view only. Just make a copy of it, and now it's yours, and you can share it with your agents, or just share that link with your agents, and that way they have everything. So let me know if you can't come over here, like you have this, go to share, copy link. Let me manage access to make sure that link. Yep. So anybody with the link, so you can share both with any of your office. Just go up to where the folder is and just click on that share icon and copy link and share it with your agents. And just let me know. Perfect. Got it. And that way, you have the book and of course the expenses, all of that. But of course, if there's anything that I can help you with throughout the year in the groups, never hesitate, reach out if we can help you in any way. I hope you enjoyed it for Thrive in 2025. And I made it without a coughing fit, and I still have a voice. So that is good news. You guys are very good luck. So I will see you guys soon. Thank you all so much for joining today. And I look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Bye, everyone.